The United States has been making significant progress in modernizing its financial system to incorporate stable coinage, tokenization, and digital assets. Of course, I wanted to look into the links between XRP and Ripple in the United States. Can we predict where all of this is headed? In this passage, Paul Atkins shares some information on his outlook on the future. You must listen to this video. We will also examine other issues such as whether Ripple can contribute the escrowed XRP to the US in order to settle US debt. I wanted to investigate this in order to gain a better understanding of if it is feasible or what would be required to accomplish that. Therefore, after we look at this, we'll also look at that information. Thus, this picture was taken many years ago. I'll reveal to you who is in this picture. Here you have Brad Garlinghouse. This is the what after that. Regular White House summits where cryptocurrencies is discussed. You have Coinbase's CEO, Michael Saylor, is here for you. Right here on the left is Brad Garlinghouse, with a number of other individuals in between. Located directly there is U.S. Treasurer Scott Bessent, and if you look at the individuals in the image below, you can see that they are representatives of the Singapore Monetary Authority. Have International Monetary Fund representatives. Christine Lagarde is here. The European Central Bank is presently led by her. They are debating whether or not to go with a CBDC for the digital euro, and I think they will. Ross Lecco is here from the IMF. This is Garlinghouse. You folks are from the Bank of Indonesia, and it's fascinating to see the spaces where Ripple has been used over the years. Additionally, you are looking at what the United States is attempting to accomplish here. They are talking about digital assets and want to take American invention and make it available to the rest of the globe. Take a look at this. The President's Working Group report on digital assets in the United States was released by the administration a few weeks ago. The report included clear instructions for the SEC, which is a member of the PWG, as well as specific recommendations for us to follow in order to support the President's stated goal of making America the global center for cryptocurrency. To establish America as the global center of cryptocurrency, isn't that right? We've heard that a lot, but I want you to concentrate on the next section. Pay close attention. To have American technology power the entire world and establish America as the global center of cryptocurrency. All right? So they're talking about having the world use American technology in the same line that they're talking about making America the global center of cryptocurrency. In the same sentence, we were discussing digital assets. What American cryptocurrencies are they discussing here, you ask yourself? Because is Bitcoin one of the most popular tokens, an example of American innovation? Does anyone use stable currency like Bitcoin for international payments or anything else? Correct. Tokenization. No, Switzerland is home to Ethereum's headquarters. The corporation is not American. It isn't an American invention. Then there is XRP, which is everything mentioned above. You then begin to question whether there are any current examples of the U.S. government, Ripple, and XRP that we could examine. Let's proceed to examine this material. Ripple and the U.S. government interact both directly and indirectly. Over the years, Ripple has maintained active regulatory ties with several significant U.S. federal agencies. The U.S. Treasury, the SEC, the Federal Reserve, and the Office of Comptroller of Currency are all included in this. XRP was designated a virtual currency by the U.S. Government Accountability Office in 2014. Ripple and FinCEN, the Financial Crimes Enforcement Network, a Treasury office that establishes industry standards for compliance with digital assets, came to an agreement in 2015. Through a relationship with Finastra, Ripple is proactively increasing its access to the U.S. financial system, including banking and Fed integration. By utilizing its compatibility with FedNow and the U.S. government's real-time payment infrastructure, Ripple was able to obtain indirect access to the Federal Reserve master accounts. In addition, Ripple is pursuing its own Federal Reserve master account and sought for a U.S. national bank charter. If approved, Ripple would be able to keep its stablecoin reserves with the Fed directly. Additionally, there are various policy suggestions that integrate XRP. A noteworthy proposal was put forward. The Working Task Force of the SEC has recommended that XRP be classified as a strategic financial asset. Thus, this was submitted by an ordinary individual. Although I have seen this document, the government did not actually construct this. Although it is a genuine document, many people mistakenly believe it to be something else. Executive directives from the President, clearer regulations, and requirements for banks to use XRP for liquidity are among the recommendations. Laws have not yet been passed in response to proposals. During executive talks in National Cryptocurrency Reserve, former President Trump made public his plans to establish a U.S. cryptocurrency reserve citing ADA, Solana, and XRP. He continued by retracting his remarks that the U.S. should foster American innovation. To purchase American assets, there is no strategy and no funding. Scott Bessent recently announced yesterday that they have no plans to purchase Bitcoin, as you are aware. Brought me joy, but it also brought me sorrow, don't you think? I believe they would figure out a method to accomplish this. It goes without saying that people won't simply go out and purchase XRP first. Naturally, they will attempt to purchase Bitcoin and may subsequently back American cryptocurrency innovation. However, I thought that many of us were, expecting something to happen. So it was just kind of depressing, and it hasn't yet. Not that it won't happen in the future, but as of right now, there isn't any plan or action to purchase any cryptocurrency with cash, is there? Because an executive order was used to accomplish all of this. Trump doesn't use taxpayer funds when he issues executive orders. Here in the United States, they would have to involve the Senate and Congress if they intended to spend government dollars. Additionally, if they succeed in creating a U.S. cryptocurrency reserve, perhaps 1%, 3%, or something similar would be allocated to fostering American innovation. That might become a legend. We might be able to assist in establishing policies for other nations. For example, other nations would be pressured to follow suit if the United States did this. Additionally, I believe we're losing a significant chance to demonstrate our seriousness to the rest of the world. Declaring our seriousness and passing regulations is one thing. Fantastic. As if this had been somewhat anticipated, we need this. But other from this, what else will you do? And I believe I'm waiting for that. Claims that Ripple executives have taken part in roundtables hosted by the U.S. government and have been actively involved in policy, etc. I hope that was enjoyable. Goodbye. This video should not be interpreted as financial advice. This is for amusement. For all intents and purposes, I am not a financial counselor. If you need financial counsel, please get it. Now let's return to the video.